What's going on, everybody? It's the Keymaster 84, bringing you guys today a brand new series, brand new awesomeness, brand new fun. We are doing a WWE Showdown show. That's not the permanent name. I literally just made it up as in that the heat of the moment.
We have a name for it.
Oh, we do?
We do. We made a name for it. Hold on. Let me back in my little notes here. You keep talking and I'll find that.
Anyways, so if you guys don't know, if you guys are not big fans of WWE, or you kind of vaguely followed it when you were a kid, Royal Rumble is today. That's why this video is coming out today. I'm really super excited about it. It's probably the second biggest show of the year. I mean, WrestleMania is always number one because they blow WrestleMania out. I mean, they use all the budget on WrestleMania.
Budget.
It's got its own budget. It's not even a part of the regular budget.
The man kind of swindles the money to the side a little.
Yeah, he just tucks away a little bit of cash every now and again.
He's got a dollar box. He's got a dollar box he uses year round.
Yeah, exactly. Swear jar, He's like, hey, just put some of that off to the side.
Alright, fill that. I gotta grab a different notebook. I'll be right back. Go ahead.
Yep. But so Royal Rumble's coming up. Royal Rumble does directly affect WrestleMania in some ways. Some of the matches determine, who's going to be pairing up against certain people. Not that obviously things can change between now and then about who that person's going to face. But if you were to win the Royal Rumble, you get a chance to choose your fight. You can say, I want to do the Intercontinental Championship, which no one ever does, but you could. You could say, I want the technically you could do that, but it's your chance to call out anybody. I want to wrestle for this championship. Obviously, everybody always usually chooses the WWE Championship or the Universal Championship, and so that does directly affect that. Now, who they actually face by the time they get there, that's up to that's a decision for another day. But typically, that's how it works. So, let me get into this, guys. So, we're going to be going over what's going to be happening, or what our predictions are. For what's going to be happening. We're going to go over all the main, all the fights because unfortunately with the announced matches, especially in a Royal Rumble, they're all main matches. There's no let's just take this match off. There's none of that. Every single match in this is big dollar matches.
I think that's how all the pay-per-views are. I mean, granted, you have your four majors, but I think that's how all the pay-per-views are, with just how much talent they have stacked on each label.
Which is true. Which is true. But, it's definitely more so for the big four, where every single match is a big deal. Yeah. Like, you might hit, your Hell in the Cells, where, 3/4 of the matches are important.
Yeah, one of them would be for number one contendership, but other than that, most likely it's gold exchanging hands.
Yeah, exactly. So, but that's here. I'm just going to run down the match card real quick. This is in no particular order. I'm just going to run through it real quick. We got the Raw Women's Championship match. That's Sasha Banks versus Ronda Rousey. So, we got the SmackDown Women's Championship match. That's The Man, a.k.a. Becky Lynch, versus Asuka, the champ. We got SmackDown Tag Team Championship match. We got The Bar versus Shane and Miz. WWE Universal Championship match, which is Finn the Demon Balor versus Brock the Beast Lesnar. Got WWE Championship match, Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles. United States Championship match, which is Rusev versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Cruiserweight Championship Fatal 4-Way match. I always love Fatal 4-Way,
especially with the cruiserweights.
Cruiserweight Fatal 4-Way is going to be insane. But you got Buddy Murphy versus Kalisto versus Akira Tozawa versus Hideo Itami. Now, I think it's actually really interesting, and we'll talk about this because I actually want to talk about why they chose those four people. But then the men's Royal Rumble and then the women's Royal Rumble, and we'll also get into why I think that's actually pretty interesting how they're setting up the card as it's listed online.
Right.
But anyways, buddy. So, what are your first impressions of Royal Rumble? What are you thinking of the card? You thinking the card? You thinking the people that have been confirmed in the Royal Rumble so far?
Yeah, let's see. So I think overall, my overall prediction grade for the event overall, I think it's going to be high B, low A. I think
like a 89.
Yeah, something like that. Just because I don't want to go full fledged A, just because of they can have the most sought after matches, all the brood rivalries going at each other, but just could be an awful match. You know what I mean? It could just be like the crap just fell over. Even the Rumbles could be, even though Rumbles are known to have surprises, Rumbles are known to have those wow factor moments, but what we see from the WWE universe is that their wants are always changing, and I think that
we are a fickle bunch.
We are a fickle bunch. I think with the most recent change in owner and management, quote unquote, as the McMahon regime has taken over both shows collectively, I think that this being their first pay-per-view as that title back under their belt. I really think they have to set it off with a bang. I think so. I think a high B, low A, 89, A, 90 will be a good grade. Obviously, you got all your main titles going. The only ones you don't have is the Raw titles going. Other than that, both women's, both men's, SmackDown tag, and then you got Rusev, protecting his United States Championship. So you're only missing the Intercontinental Championship and the Raw Tag Championships. Everything else is being showcased here.
And then that's only confirmed.
Right, yeah.
I mean, technically, those matches could still happen.
Right.
Which is probably why we'll end up doing a post show.
Yeah.
About what actually happened. So it's hard to say. But I mean, I'm in the same opinion. I'm hovering between like an 88 to a 92. I mean, because there's two matches on here that I'm kind of
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm straight excited.
Pretty stacked, yeah. Well, and then you think about the 30-man Rumble for the men and women. I mean, for the men especially, because the amount of talent between both brands, and then not only the wild cards that usually come in from NXT or the Hall of Famers or old guys that come back usually in a Rumble. And then you're even going to experience that same thing with the women's Royal Rumble. I mean, this is only their second year doing it, but it's like
this is where you can see like a Trish Stratus.
The amount of women that you have between both brands, let alone NXT and past women's competitors. I mean, you're basically in the same boat as you are with the men. So
100%.
So, I think just with the level of talent that you're able to throw 30 people at, with the people that have confirmed, we're still missing 10 to 12 people per Rumble match. And then you're looking at the list of the confirmed people. You're just like, dude, let's see, just to name a few. So you got the New Day, which are all past tag team champions. Seth Rollins, Jeff Hardy, both past WWE champions, tag champions, Intercontinental champions. I mean, Bobby Lashley, current Intercontinental champion. Samoa Joe, has wrestled all over the world. John Cena, 15-time champion. I mean, Jinder Mahal's held the championship. Rey Mysterio's held the championship. Randy Orton's held the championship. I mean, that's just the people that are confirmed. So, I mean, that's just on the men's side. And then if you go to the women's side, it's pretty much all the same from top to bottom. So it's like, you can't help but to think that this is going to be an A show. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, and something with the way I'm seeing the card set up and the matches that they have and the order that I'm assuming they're going to be in, I don't see this being any worse than a B+.
Right.
Something
like I'm with you on the two matches that I'm like, eh.
And it's funny because we'll see. I'm pretty sure we're probably on the same one, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get into it. So let's see. Let's start off with Raw Women's Championship match.
Oh,
Sasha Banks.
We're up for the women's, huh? All right.
Raw Women's Championship match. Sasha Banks versus Ronda Rousey. Who you got?
I got Banks.
You think Banks?
I think they give it back to the boss. I think she's been without title for a long enough time now, and the only reason I say that is because out on her and Bailey having the women's tag titles. So I think they give Banks the match. I'm not saying she's going to hold it very long because definitely, with the rematch clause the way it is now, you don't automatically get your rematch anymore. So,
True.
So Rousey's going to be fighting for it. But again, you never know what's going to happen. Rousey's got 3 of her friends waiting down in NXT, waiting to come up to the main card.
True.
So
True that.
There's a lot of variables in this match, but I think Banks has really worked her way back up into the top ranks of the women's division. Obviously, Rousey has been a
firecracker since she came up.
Yeah, they hired her on to be the person. I mean, that was pretty much it. They gave her the money to be the person. They gave her the title right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
She's held it now for almost a year. I think it's been close to a year. So
and I think it was actually
it's about time for her to hit a little bit of turn. I think she's gotten through Jax, she's gotten through Flair, she's gotten through Lynch. So we'll see. But I give it to Banks. What about you?
I'm going Rousey.
Yeah.
And the only reason I think this is because you're going to see the 4 horsewomen in this case.
Eventually. Yeah.
They're coming up. I mean, and I think with the expansion onto Fox is definitely going to want to push more of the sports and the story and the higher names. And seeing as how you're going to have 4 UFC fighters, it makes it really easy to cross over because you're going to have Baszler. She retained her NXT title. Mm-hmm. You give Rousey the Raw Women's Championship belt.
And Baszler is the first and only multi-time women's NXT champion.
Exactly. And then the other 2, they can fight out for a tag team.
Yep.
And then boom, you got 4 huge names that came over from UFC, all holding belts at the same time in the same stable. That's huge.
Yeah, I've thought about that. I know not to go off too much on a tangent because we got a lot of matches, but then that pushes the original 4 back together: Flair, Lynch, Banks, and Bailey.
Which would be a good
move. That's a huge push to go against because then you already have the Riot Squad.
True.
And then you already have Mandy Rose and what's her name?
I know who you're
why am I missing on her name right now? Hold on 1 second. Give it to me a second. Sonya Deville. Excuse me.
Yeah, Sonya Deville. Mm-hmm.
But see, Sonya Deville's got a mixed martial arts background too. So
she was actually one of the first ones.
She was. So I see where they would let Rousey keep it. I was kind of going for a cast out there because I do feel like Banks has been working her way back up in the ranks, but we'll see. We'll definitely have to see what they do there.
Yeah, that one would be an interesting one because I was torn. I just think I'm more on that side than I am on the Banks side.
Dude, I'm 55, so ready. 45. Just overall, I'm so ready for WWE to bring back stables.
Oh yeah, dude. It's definitely coming. You see it.
Yeah, you see the forming of groups.
You see the forming and the positioning, and it's going to be amazing.
It's going to be awesome.
So now let's go down. Let's stick on the women's side of things.
Okay.
The man versus the champ. Becky Lynch versus Asuka.
Ooh. You go first on this one. I went first on last one.
Easy, Becky Lynch.
Done. I got Asuka.
Done. And that I mean I don't and I this is a match that I want her to win.
Yeah.
Not necessarily a match that I think she's going to win. Just because honestly, Becky Lynch is
she's the draw for SmackDown.
Push right now that she is getting and not even like a push from WWE. I'm talking like a push from the universe, the WWE universe.
The fan base, yep, exactly.
I mean,
once she got her nose broken and she did the whole rest of that segment, it was over.
Dude, yeah.
I'm sorry. Over.
I mean, the universe literally said, "Hey, Becky Lynch is the person." Period. Yeah. Done.
They had to black and gray 15 minutes of Raw because she was bleeding so bad from her nose, and she stayed in character the entire time.
Kept on
while she
going.
was walking back up the stadium, and then stood there while she was bleeding profusely from her face with
You
just this
know,
angry look on her face.
whatevs.
That moment will live forever in my mind. I swear to God.
Whatevs. It's no big deal. But no, I definitely think that they could. But the thing is like in this match, the only reason, because usually I would say that the other person is probably going to win because they're going to use Becky Lynch to push him over.
Yeah.
But the thing is like Asuka doesn't really need anybody to push her over. You know what I mean? So it's kind of it is an interesting position to be in.
Right. And the only reason I think Asuka is going to, because I think they spent so much time rebuilding her character.
Mm-hmm.
Because once she came into the WWE from NXT as undefeated Bill Goldberg status, and then she finally got beat, and then she just dropped off the face of the earth. I know she was out with injury for a little bit. Then she came back. And she came back. I think she came back more baby face than heel. So.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean, she's still kind of sitting on that wire. I mean, she's always kind of rode that fence a little bit, but like when she came back to help Bayley and all them, and all that stuff, and then she switched brands too from Raw to SmackDown. So
yeah,
I think that they've done so much to build her character back up. I don't think they relinquished the belt from her quite yet, but I will not be surprised if Lynch walks away with the belt. I will be honest with you. Asuka's my pick, but I will not be surprised if Lynch wins.
Yeah, exactly. So let's see here, guys. So we're going to move on to the men's side of things. This is where we're going to get into some really in-depth stuff.
Gonna get saucy.
I'm going to go from probably what's, in my opinion, probably like the
weakest match?
Well, I don't want to say the weakest match. I'm going to say the match where we're going to save the championship, like the Universal and the WWE Championship match for last, obviously.
Okay.
But we're going to start with the United States Championship match.
Boo. Sorry. I think this is exactly why this is on pre.
And what was that?
Right now, I think Rusev and the Nakamura fight is on pre-show because I think they could do without it, to be honest with you.
I think it would have been better to do the Intercontinental Championship.
Exactly, but then that would have took Lashley out of the Rumble.
It would have taken Lashley out of the Rumble.
Because they just gave him the belt. So I think they'd rather have Rusev and Nakamura out of the Rumble than Lashley against Ambrose or Rollins.
Yeah. And so, I mean, it's
now you got to play that game, You got to play that chess game right there.
It is true.
All right, and who do you got for champ there?
Rusev. I think he retains. I mean, I think Rusev needs it more than Nakamura does. I mean, Nakamura is. Yeah. I think he's either on his way out. Personally,
yep, I agree with that too.
I mean, because no offense, I mean, he started off really great, but then about halfway through his stint, he's kind of starting to fall fat.
He's another one of those NXT gods that everybody wanted up on the main roster for so long, and then they just completely flopped him.
They didn't handle him right.
They didn't handle him right. They didn't. I mean, safe to say you could probably say that for a handful of other guys too, but they really flopped with Nakamura. They really flopped with that character.
Oh yeah.
And they tried 100%. Save face, and make him the heel turn. I think they should have brought him. I think they should have brought him in as the heel. To be honest with you.
Oh, 100%. I think Nakamura as a heel is better than babyface.
Way better.
100%. Yeah, I mean, granted, being
Mura's on his way out too. I agree with you.
But I think that being a babyface is always more difficult than being heel, because heel you can just do whatever you want. Whereas babyface, you kind of have to play the game,
Absolutely.
All right, so here's the next one, and by the way, I do agree. I could care less about that match. The next most important one, the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match, The Bar versus Shane and Miz.
We're exactly on the same page.
Oh yeah, 100%. I
this whole Miz
if Shane and Miz win,
it's just crap. They're gonna win.
Why?
They're gonna win. I haven't circled.
I can't even. I have to vote for The Bar only because I would hate
pure talent.
I just it doesn't make sense. Shane he needs to stop.
I think Shane's a
I'm
better wrestler than half the people on the roster.
he is he's good to put on a show.
Yeah, he's a showman.
100%.
Right?
He's definitely just like his dad. He's a great showman.
Yeah.
But he needs to let the talent speak for itself. And The Miz doesn't need him, honestly, in my opinion. I think it would have been better to team up The Miz with someone else.
I think they are scratching and clawing to bring The Miz back into the fold, but I don't think it's going to work. I think The
Miz is happy being a dad.
I think they need to just kind of start phasing him out, dude. I mean, they're going to have to eventually do that with some of their older talent anyway. It's just the nature of the game, you know. Eventually, the greats start going away, and
I mean, the Miz has been doing this now for
12 years.
How long? I mean, hold on.
Well, he did Real World in 2001, and then he went into Tough Enough 2003, the year I graduated from high school, and then he went into the WWE after that.
So let's see here. He has been The Miz. Wikipedia. Michael Gregory Mizan.
The Mizanian. Mike Mizanian.
Mike Mizanian. 2001.
I called it.
2001. This guy's been wrestling professionally
for 17 years.
For 18 years.
And
he started wrestling when he was 20. He's 38.
Yeah. I mean, nothing against. I mean, he does a great show. Great man. I think that whole time that I really following the WWE, where I took a kind of a break for a few years, where he kind of took over Daniel Bryan's moveset or whatever. I think, you know, and then they pushed him through the title push there for a while, and now he's just like, I mean, he's going to go down as one of the most decorated Intercontinental Champions ever to wrestle in WWE.
Oh, 100%.
Period.
100%.
Period. I mean, his name will not ever be marked off of that, but I think it's time for him to start getting phased out, along with some of these other people, like Cesaro, or not Cesaro, like Sheamus. I think Sheamus is another one of those guys that, though he's a great wrestler, he's just been around for a long time, and they just got so much talent ready to come through the ranks that push has got to shove here pretty soon. You know what I mean? And you know, the Bar was a good pairing for Cesaro and Sheamus. I think it re-sparked both of their careers. But now you got to think about it. You're in a match with the Miz and Shane McMahon. When you have the Usos, you have the New Day, you have Sanity has now come through the door. You have
what happened to
so
Usos?
much.
I don't want to get too far off here. We can save some of the stuff from their time. But what in the hell happened to the Usos?
I think when they did their little gangster switch, I think that was just like nice. I mean, they've been around for a long time too.
Oh, they've been around for a minute, yeah, 100%.
When they did their little, you know, day one Uso thing, I think that was a good switch for their branding, because it kind of re-sparked everybody's like, okay, they're doing a heel turn. They're not the happy Samoan guys anymore. They're gangster California, you know, gang, quote unquote, gang member, you know, day one guys, and or whatever, you know, Uso Penitentiary and all this other stuff. You know, it rebranded them, and it gave them a push. They held the titles twice since they made that switch, and then their whole rivalry with the New Day was I think at the time is what was driving SmackDown, because SmackDown had the weaker women's division at the time, and I think at the top of the men's ranks they still weren't sure what they were doing with all the there. So I think that tag division during that processing time for SmackDown was all on New Day and the Usos. I will contest that. I mean, probably for a good 3 months there, they had promo after promo after promo after match after match after match. So it was driving that show for a while, and I think
they just need a break for a bit and took some time.
They need a break, you know. Yeah, so I think I do give this one to Shane and the Miz. I think they're play up to the they're going to play up to the novelty of it. I think
it's ridiculous.
It's going to throw the Bar into a tizzy downspin a little bit, to be honest, because of all the tag talent they do have on SmackDown. I don't think Shane and the Miz are going to hold it for, and I think they're going to split the Bar. I think that's going to be the straw that broke the camel's back.
They're going to break the Bar.
I think there's going to be something that happens that match that's going to spark the break of the Bar.
It'll be a sad day, but I can see it happening because they need
Yeah.
to. I mean, Shane.
I mean,
Not
Cesaro
Shane.
needs his push as a singles.
Yeah.
Sheamus needs to start going back down, like I
Back
said,
to
out past
singles.
for a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, there's just enough singles competition in both brands. You're going to think, we're going to be hitting WrestleMania here within the 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're going to have the brand shakeup.
Mm-hmm.
So if they get split up and they work on a split up between now and WrestleMania, maybe have a couple rivalry matches in between, then they're free to put Sheamus and Cesaro on separate brands.
Yeah.
And they're not tied together anymore. You know what I mean? You don't have to move them as a tag team. You can move them separately. So
makes sense.
I think Shane and Miz take it as for the novelty of what it is. And I think something in that match starts sparking the downfall of the bar.
Good call. I like it. All right, so let's see here. Let's go on to the next one. The Cruiser Championship. Fatal 4-way match.
Who did you pick in that one? You picked the bar, right?
The bar, yeah.
Okay, I'm keeping tabs on it. Go ahead.
Oh, snap. All right, so let's see here. Cruiser Championship Fatal 4-way match. We got Buddy Murphy versus Kalisto versus Tozawa versus Atami.
Dude, I love when they throw more than a single cruiserweight match at you.
Oh, God, yeah.
We talked about this prior to recording, but anytime there's like a 2-on-2 or a fatal 4-way or triple threat,
oh God,
these guys just go all the fuck out, dude. It's so crazy.
It's about to be on, dude. Like, I'm excited for this one. Which is funny because typically cruiserweights are not always the most exciting matches in the world.
No.
But I mean, when you have like a cruiserweight tag team, it's crazy. So the fact that you're going to be like a fatal 4-way.
Hey, by the way, y'all get to fight each other at one time.
Yeah, and pins are going to count anywhere. There's no rules. These guys are going to get crazy, and the fact that like I like the fact that it's Buddy Murphy versus Kalisto, Tozawa, and Atami because they're 4 guys that are all roughly the same size.
Mm-hmm. And
they're on the heavier end of the
scale.
Cruiserweight championship of the cruiserweight division.
Buddy Murphy, who's like the hardcore wrestler, bruiser guy.
Mm-hmm.
Tozawa and Atami are the strikers, and Kalisto straight luchador. So it's like
exactly.
You got a good mix. I mean, the other guys can do some crazy shit too, but it's like Kalisto's got all the high flying stuff. Bloody Murphy's gonna hit you with the heavy hitting moves, and then Tozawa and Atami are just gonna go straight at it. I bet you they have those guys go head to head at some point in the match.
Oh, for sure.
Doing some kicks and punches and like a Bruce Lee sequence type thing,
Yeah, no, for sure.
Who you got winning?
I got on this one. I think I want to say Tozawa. I don't know why. I really do though. I think Tozawa
I think it can go to
might
anybody,
pick.
to be honest with you.
I mean, this is one of those ones where I would like just to say all of them because it's not that I don't care. I would like to see any of these guys with the championship. It doesn't matter to me. I think they would all be good champions.
I think Kalisto.
Ooh.
Now, the only reason I say Kalisto is how much play the Lucha House Party's been getting on the main show.
That's true.
So then you start flashing that 30 or that 205 belt on the main show.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can start giving the cruiserweights a little bit of time. Now, I mean, I know they got their own show, but it's all internet. It's dark matches. It's all on WWE Network.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when they used to try to actually put a couple cruiserweight matches on a SmackDown show. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I think they give it to Kalisto just because of how much play the Lucha House Party's been getting, and I think he flashes that belt around SmackDown a little bit. Plus, with the movement up of Mustafa Ali to the main card, then you start leaking some of these guys in there. Some of this speed, high flying talent into your roster. I don't know. I think Kalisto's for me. Kalisto's a pick there. Anyone, to be honest with you, Buddy Murphy's been a great addition to the 205 brand. Tozawa, Tommy was a good come up from NXT. Tozawa's been a mainstay there for a while, but I think with Kalisto's veteranship and the fact that he's got the house party behind him, I think Kalisto takes the belt.
Not a bad pick. All right, guys, we're gonna move into the big matches now. Last 4 here. Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles for the WWE Championship match.
I struggled with this one.
You struggle with this one?
I struggle with this one. I don't know why. I think they have Brian retaining.
I agree.
All right.
What's your reasoning behind it?
I just
I
think they
know
worked
mine.
so hard on his heel switch. I think they worked way too hard on his heel switch to get him the title,
Mm-hmm.
and now he's like the new Daniel Bryan. I think this is Styles' last stab at this championship, and then they start pushing him towards mid belt or something else.
So here, I'm gonna. This will be my big bold prediction.
Okay.
One of them. Daniel Bryan retains because
Okay.
AJ Styles moves to Raw.
See, I was thinking about that too.
Because I mean, what we're not talking about. So for you guys who don't know, Fox Sports paid a ridiculous amount of money to WWE to move SmackDown to Fox Sports. I think
That's
AJ
crazy.
Styles, he has literally been, him and John Cena have literally kept SmackDown going
Alive
for years. And so I think that as a part of the reward for all this they're going to move AJ finally to Raw, which I think should have been done forever ago.
Yeah.
But, you know, and I think they're going to move him over because it is more of the veteran. You see more of the newer guys in SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
The younger guys. SmackDown is typically more of the younger people. It kind of goes NXT, SmackDown, Raw. And so I think you finally see AJ move over into Raw. He's going to have a productive career there. But I think that's why Daniel Bryan retains, is because in a few months we see AJ Styles move over to Raw.
That's a good prediction. I would strongly agree with that one.
So enough about that one. Universal Championship match.
Mm-hmm.
Finn the Demon Balor versus Brock the Beast Lesnar. Now this is just the fan talking. The Demon.
Yeah, that's what I picked too.
I can't, no offense to Brock Lesnar, I can't root for him to retain.
No, I never do. I haven't for the last 6
Years.
pay-per-views or whatever. Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's a
So
half-time
it feels like
wrestler.
at least.
I mean, how often do you actually see him throw a wrestling move on a regular show? For one.
Yeah.
If
exactly.
it is, it's just him there standing quiet while Heyman japs his mouth.
I mean,
and then
it's going to be an F5 or German suplex.
Yeah, and then Balor got crapped out of the initial Universal title when he got injured after coming up from NXT and then winning his chance at the title and then winning the title. So, I mean, literally he goes NXT to main card, fatal, was it a singles match and then a fatal 4-way or something?
It was something like that, yeah.
Then he won his number 1 contendership against somebody and then he won the belt. So, with the exit of Roman Reigns, relinquishing the title, who was going to be an everyday champion, I think they are really in need. I think the Raw brand is really in need for an everyday champion. And I think Balor has such a following that they are stupid not to give him the belt.
So now, do you want to get into it, though? Because the only reason Finn Balor's here is because the monster amongst men, Braun Strowman, decided, well, I mean, he let his emotions get a hold of him.
Storyline, though, yeah.
And decided to destroy Vince McMahon's limo because that's where Baron Corbin was hiding.
Now,
storyline, of course, guys.
I will sit here and talk Braun Strowman with anybody. He's my favorite wrestler. He's who brought me back to the WWE. But I don't know what the hell they're doing with him because, behind the scenes or not, all this talk about how he's a bad star and all this stuff. He shows up late, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I get it. It's a job. You're supposed to be there for your job. But he's literally probably top on the list of the top 5 stars that are drawing the most fans.
Easy money.
Okay, easily. Now, everybody is ruling for this man to get the. Everybody.
Oh, yeah, people have been. I mean, no offense to Finn Balor,
yeah.
But I mean, I would say besides Finn Balor, Braun Strowman is hands down the one person that everybody wants to see have the belt.
Absolutely, and I think whatever they're doing is going to lead into Strowman and whoever has the belt come WrestleMania.
Finn Balor versus Braun Strowman. We've seen that match.
Yeah, and I mean, Balor's no. I mean, they've proven that Balor can take down the big guys, so I don't see why he couldn't do it to Lesnar. But I really hope he comes out as the Beast.
The Demon.
Or the Demon, excuse me.
Yeah.
I really hope he comes out as the, because we've only got to see it a couple times.
It's been a while.
I think we're ready to set the fucking Viking ship with Lesnar on it and start shooting arrows at that bitch, because
I'm all about it.
I'm ready to ship Lesnar out as fast as I.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so now that's that. Let's get into the men's Royal Rumble match.
Men's Royal Rumble.
So I'm gonna run through the 19 that are confirmed already in the match.
Oh yeah, let me get down to that list. Okay.
And then we'll go from there.
Okay, hit it.
John Cena, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, Samoa Joe, Drew McIntyre, Kofi Kingston, Big E, Xavier Woods, Apollo Crews, Baron Corbin, Elias, Jinder Mahal, Jeff Hardy, Bobby Lashley, Andrade, Rey Mysterio, Mustafa Ali, Randy Orton, and R-Truth, because he's won
number 30, baby.
Number 30. Him and Carmelo won the mixed challenge. That's why he's there. Guaranteed number 30 spot. What do you think?
Okay, so I'm gonna give my 2 cents about the mixed match challenge. I know we're running short on time, but so I'm surprised it was them who won because of all the talent they had in there and who they could have put at the 30 spot in both Rumbles.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think Truth does anything. I don't think he wins. Just putting it out there. But I mean, you could have had Rude there. You could have had AJ Styles there. You could have had Braun Strowman there. You could have had even Jinder Mahal, Bobby Lashley at one point. You could have had him there. You know, they had a lot of injuries go through that challenge. But I mean, you could have had a lot of A talent there. But R-Truth is the one who came out with it. I don't know why they chose that. I don't think he's going to win, but that's just my 2 pieces on it. So I'm going to give you my top 3, and then I have a wild card.
All right. I'm loving it.
Drew McIntyre.
Okay.
I think he's been, waiting for a good push. He's been tearing it up. Blah, blah, blah. He deserves it. Samoa Joe, who on SmackDown has just been a havoc wreaker. As of leading up to the Royal Rumble, has not done anything but prove his status as a top contender.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Viper, man, Randy Orton. I think he's due to get back into that title race. I think if they give Randy a shot, I think this is where they're going to give it to him. Now, far as my wild card's concerned, I had one written down and then I jotted down another one. So I have a wild card A and a wild card B.
Back up.
Yeah. So my original wild card was Mustafa Ali.
Oh, okay. I like it.
They have been pushing him hard and down, and he's been doing a great job against the high tier talent. They've given him a couple wins under his belt. I think he's a great up and comer, a lot of potential. Obviously got the moves. I think he a little bit better on the mic, but I think he's got everything it takes to be a good superstar.
Okay.
My wild card B is Braun Strowman.
Okay.
Now,
not
they
confirmed.
took him out of the main. Yeah, not confirmed, but they took him out of the main card.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember McMahon saying that he was out of the Royal Rumble completely. I thought it was just out of the main title match. So right. I think they drop him in somewhere around the middle, like 14, 15, and I think he goes for his most. He would, I think, 10 putouts at the Greatest Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
I think they go to put him higher than that mark because right now he holds the title. So.
Whew. That's crazy. I watched that match.
Yeah, he put out 10.
Watched that.
So
I know. I watched it. It was insane.
So yeah, that's my wild card A and B. I think Mustafa Ali just got such a good push on him, but I think Braun sneaks in there. What about you?
Okay. So I got Drew McIntyre.
All right.
I also picked Randy Orton. Because you know me, I'm a huge Viper fan person.
Yeah, we're both huge fans. Yep.
So, and I picked number 3 as Seth Rollins only because. So let me get into it here. So those are my 3 mains. I also have 2 backups.
Okay.
So the reason, Drew McIntyre, he's one of the hottest rising stars on the market right now.
He's got the hot hand, yep.
Yeah, Randy Orton. He's been a career guy. He's stable. I think they definitely try to give him a few more pushes before he's done. But I think he's also one of those guys who's on his way out the door.
Agree with that too.
Seth Rollins, only because the story between Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, has been going on for years. One, I'm over. I mean, not necessarily that I'm over it. I think that it makes sense storyline wise, because if I'm picking Finn Balor to lose the belt, it doesn't make sense for me to pick someone like a Drew McIntyre to win. It makes more sense to pick a Seth Rollins, because that's a better match.
Better match, right?
A better matchup, because it's hard to be like, okay, well, how in the world is Finn Balor going to beat Drew McIntyre?
That was part of the reason behind my Mustafa Ali.
You know, Mustafa Ali is another good choice, and that is, it makes, story-wise, it makes sense. It's a lot easier to figure that out.
So I guess that wouldn't matter anyway.
But more of the story is, instead of my next two, I also picked Braun Strowman, because, yet again, he's my favorite wrestler right now.
Yeah.
And then Aleister Black.
Oh, I forgot we were talking about him. Yes.
I forgot about the NXT. I forgot you didn't. I'm surprised you didn't put him in there, honestly.
He was gonna be, and then I got distracted with my Mustafa Ali reasoning.
Yeah.
Yes. No. 100%. Yes, dude.
I mean, honestly, I think my dark horse pick is going to be someone from NXT. I think either Ricochet or Aleister Black. Personally, it's a 1A, 1B. I don't know who, but definitely one of those guys is going to be in the Royal Rumble.
I think. Yes, on Aleister Black, 100% in the Rumble. I will almost bet money on that one. But I do not think it'll be Ricochet. I think it's going to be the Velveteen Dream.
I'm so tired of the Velveteen
Dream. I think they're done pushing him in NXT, and I think they're going to start dabbling him in card.
I can see that, yeah.
Because Ricochet, he's not quite strong enough on the mic yet, man. Velveteen's got everything going for him right now.
True. It's a good point. I can't argue that. That is a really good point. You know way more about NXT than I do. I just recently started getting into it.
Dude, you got to. And for anybody out there, on NXT, start following NXT, because they're starting to build stories like they have on the main card, and I love it. I mean, it just recently became the third brand officially. Yep. With the UK Performance Center going up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's it. We're not going to get contract. Yeah, we're not going to get too deep into that, because that could be a whole show by itself.
I love NXT. I just glad you finally started following it.
Exactly. So I think those are my 5 picks.
Yep,
I agree. Those are.
I think that Aleister Black pick. I think that one just won it for you.
I mean, maybe we'll see.
Dude, he's. Okay. Go ahead.
I don't want to get too crazy. We'll see.
Because Aleister Black is, I mean, honestly, probably over the last 2 years has been one of my favorite NXT come-ups.
Oh yeah, he's awesome.
He's an awesome character. He's a great performer.
I mean, besides Ciampa, I think he's the next. He is him or Ciampa could easily just fill in, and it would be like they've always been on Raw or SmackDown. I think if one of those two guys were to come up, they would definitely be more of a Raw pick than a SmackDown pick, only because they are a little bit more edgy.
Black versus Balor. Oh my god,
dude, that'd be amazing.
That's a good match. Anyway, okay, women's. We gotta.
Here we go. I'm gonna roll through it here. Natalya, Bayley, Ember Moon, Lacey Evans, Alexa Bliss, Ruby Riott, Sarah Logan, Liv Morgan, Mickie James, Alicia Fox, Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, Zelina Vega, Charlotte Flair, Naomi, Tamina, Peyton Royce, Billie Kay, Dana Brooke, Lana, Nia Jax, Nikki Cross, and Carmella confirmed at the number 30 spot.
Yeah, again, that mixed match thing.
Staten Island.
They had such stacked women's talent on that, and they dropped Carmella in the 30th spot.
Which is fine. I mean, whatever. Typically, the number 30 gets knocked out anyway, so it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, 30 very rarely wins, so it's not a huge deal.
All right, you get to run first since I did men's.
Okay. So on this list, I got Ember Moon, Ruby Riott, and my super gangster pick, Peyton Royce.
Ooh, nice.
And I'm sticking with those three. Actually, you know what? I will throw in one crazy pick.
Okay.
Shayna Baszler.
Ooh.
That'd be
You think
my
she comes up as the
only.
champion?
No, I think she comes up as the champion, but I mean, it's just for fun.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
I don't think it's anything crazy. I just want to see like, they're looking for like a big pop because you gotta remember there's 23 of the 30 are confirmed.
Yeah.
So there's only so many randoms.
There's only so
And
much
I
room,
think
right?
it's either gonna be someone from NXT, so someone like a Shayna Baszler or what's her name? The
Yeah,
small Asian lady.
Dakota Kai.
Yes.
Dakota Kai. Yeah.
One of those two, or
Ooh,
it's going to
pushing
be
for the heart, too.
or it's going to be an old school veteran like a Trish Stratus or someone like
Yeah.
that.
Lita.
That's going to come out. Lita, someone like that. But those would be the only other people that I would think would be like, because they want to have those surprise ones. They want to have that huge pop.
The pop.
And unfortunately, NXT women, I just don't see someone besides two or three of them that would have a huge impact on that situation when you only have seven
open
randoms,
spots.
7 open spots.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who do you got?
All right. So Moon and Riot, 100% agree on those. Those were my top 2 picks as well. I think for my solid number 3, I think Charlotte Flair. Only because then it'll be a story between Flair until WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
My wild card pick is Nikki Cross.
Oh snap!
Yeah,
That's a good
I think they dropped her in right at the right time. I think she's got a great character, especially if they start ramping up Sanity because she's part of that club there.
Mm-hmm.
She did really well in NXT. I think she even held the belt at one point. But to kind of sidetrack from that a little bit, I have to throw my girl Nia Jax out there just because she was the first original winner. She is still, the irresistible force, and I think if they don't at least give her at least 8 to 10 knockouts before getting her knocked out of the ring, I think it'll be a shame because I think they've been downplaying Nia Jax's. She's got okay mic skills, and I think they've just kind of just misused her. And I think she's just one of those things that's fade away into the back if they don't start using her better. So, I think Nikki Cross is definitely my Jackson there just because I got love for her. But honestly, I think it's either going to be Rip Ride or Moon who pull it out.
I like it. Are there any? Since we're already over time, so we're shooting for the hour block now. Are there any like other story things you want to talk about? Anything you think might happen? Any kind of like random wild card things that you think might come up during the show?
Well, like I said, I think Baszler and, like you said, Baszler and the other 2 girls from NXT ringside, I think is going to play into the Rousey match.
100%.
I think the Smack Tag titles were potentially Shane and Miz take it for the novelty, but then something kind of happens where Sheamus misses a bro kick and hits Cesaro or something like that, or Cesaro hits Sheamus with the European uppercut, something like that kind of starts sparking that fall there. I think could be another potential story there. Really, I think it comes down to the men's not announced 11. I think the men's Rumble not announced 12. There's just a lot that could happen there as far as
it's a lot of people.
You got Bray Wyatt still sitting on the back burner. You got potential Matt Hardy whenever he's ready to come back. They've left the door open for that to come back. You got potential comeback of the Bludgeon Brothers because the one guy is cleared of injury. You have, old stars coming back. You got, I know we're not going to see Roman Reigns, but, I think the 12 open spots you have in the men's, there could be potential but it really depends on who wins that men's match is where they're going to go with their storylines for the next, 6 months. So I think hopefully they give it to Balor, and then that plays into whoever wins the Rumble. But then you got to think Braun's going to become her blood, man. He got taken out of his match, so if they don't put him in the Rumble, then they're going to do something with that storyline there. If Braun does not go into the Rumble, I think he comes in as a non-contested, a non-numbered combatant and starts throwing people out.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like, hey, McMahon, fuck you. Here's the big finger. I'm going to ruin your match, and I'm going to pick who wins.
Yeah, I can see that. Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they don't allow him in, I think something like that happens. Other than that, I mean, looking at it, I mean, Carmella could make some waves. She did hold the belt for almost a year. As far as in that matchup, but they've kind of, like you said, been burying her a little bit after the mixed match. I think they're getting ready to kill the Bryan Styles storyline. I think they're good. I think they're done, ready to kill that one.
Yep.
Like you said, Rusev Nakamura doesn't really matter. Cruiserweight match is going to be dope. Banks Rousey, it's going to be a good match, but you picked Rousey, I picked Banks, but we'll really see. I think those three other UFC girls really come into play. Baszler and the other two, I can't remember their names, but if one of those three is not in the Rumble match, then all three of them will be sitting ringside.
Oh, 100%.
So, yeah. All right. Other than that, man, I don't really know. It's really up in the air,
Yeah. Okay. So you ready? I'm about to go crazy. I'm about to drop so many crazy things right now.
Okay.
That the WWE is going to hire me because I know at least half of these are going to be right.
They should have hired us anyway.
Oh yeah, we've been right too many times. Anyways, guys.
Hey.
Here we go.
Go for it.
Now this Kenny Omega is going to make an appearance.
I saw the lead-ups. I saw the YouTube video.
His contract expires February 1.
I know.
I know. We're a few days early.
But okay. That just brings up so much
Saudi Arabia money.
That brings up so much shit, though, dude. You have no idea.
Just wait. I have more.
Okay.
So there's this movie coming out.
Yeah.
It's called Fighting with the Family, or Fighting with My Family.
With Paige, featuring Paige.
With Paige, Paige is in there. But who's also a big wrestler, who's in that particular movie?
The Rock.
The Rock could be at Royal Rumble to help promote the movie, and they need someone to fill in. I'm here, brother, because he's also just rumored to be working with Roman Reigns in a movie as well as that.
Oh no, it's not rumored. It's true. Roman Reigns plays his brother in the Hobbs and Shaw Fast and Furious spinoff.
Okay, fine.
And it's there's pictures of them both in Islander gear.
Okay, I didn't know that was a confirmed thing.
Yeah, that was actually released yesterday. That's funny. Yeah.
Okay, fine. That's good.
No, I'll send you the link to the pictures. It actually looks pretty cool.
Okay, but anyway, so that's, I think The Rock could, because you want to talk about the pop of the century? Have The Rock come in at like number 29?
Ooh.
Dear God, dude.
I know he's all buff.
People would freak out.
You think he's wrestling shape anyway?
Oh yeah, well I mean, he comes in, muscle, maybe knocks a guy or two out, but then gets knocked out. Yeah, I could see that happening. No, like Strowman knocks him out somehow. I could see that. I could see that happening. That's not unreasonable.
What do you think about?
That'd be insane. Just think. You're watching the Rumble. It's going. Yeah, okay, it's kind of cool. The Big Show maybe comes out. The Big Show maybe comes out because that's what the Big Show does. And then all of a sudden, the music kicks in. You hear that, dude, and the crowd just goes, "What the hell? Oh my God!" The whole place is gonna blow up. The roof is gonna come off the building.
Okay, do you think it's a bigger pop than the Hardys coming back?
Hands down.
You think?
Hands down.
The Rock has just made so many comebacks, bro.
But you gotta think, well, no, but it's not even just a comeback. He comes in, it's a one-time thing. He just comes back, number 29 of the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I hear you.
I just say, I think, I told you, I'm coming at you with some crazy predictions, okay? And And then also another one of mine was, I think, the Big Show is going to be at the Royal Rumble, just
Oh,
because
100%.
that's just what he does. But no, I think other than that, it's going to be a fairly easy thing. I do think Rowan is going to be in the Royal Rumble.
Okay, so let me piggyback off this Kenny Omega thing real quick.
Okay.
So let me piggyback off this Kenny Omega thing because
Okay.
not only am I a fan of WWE wrestling, it also made me a fan of wrestling organizations as well because WWE is always poaching talent.
Uh-huh.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So yes, Kenny Omega has been on WWE's radar for time.
No, for forever.
We're talking about probably a decade.
Mm-hmm.
So, in conjunction with the possible Kenny Omega pickup,
Mm-hmm.
you have the Young Bucks,
Okay.
which are a tag team that work with Kenny Omega in the what was it called? What's their club called?
Bullet Club.
The Bullet Club in Ring of Honor, or not Ring of Honor, in Japan, New Japan Wrestling. Also was a part of that group is Cody Rhodes, whose contract is also up with Ring of Honor in the near future. So,
And he has gotten huge compared to when he was on WWE.
he's gotten huge since he left.
Huge deal.
Humongous.
Huge deal.
I mean, he went to the New Japan Wrestling, joined the Bullet Club. He was one of the main players with Kenny Omega in that, and the Young Bucks and all the other guys they had there. Then he went to Ring of Honor. Young Bucks went to Ring of Honor.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny Omega stayed in New Japan Wrestling. Sorry, I'm just fact checking myself here. But anyway, so Kenny Omega pickup, I think, is almost a lock-in, hands down.
I'd be shocked if it didn't happen this time.
He's been slated to come to the WWE decade.
Oh yeah, I mean, if it doesn't happen this time, something's gone seriously wrong.
With the Young Bucks and Cody Rhodes contracts ending up with the Ring of Honor shortly after Kenny Omega's goes out with New Japan Wrestling, hard pressed not to say that they dropped the Bullet Club full force into the WWE.
Then that, dude, that if they do that, oh my god, dude,
because then you also have Gallows and Anderson and Finn Balor
and AJ Styles.
So now you're talking about an 8-man group with the star power and the men's division across tag titles, Intercontinental Channel, U.S. titles, men's feature titles can be completely covered by all 8 guys. You drop 4 of them to SmackDown.
4 of them SmackDown, 4 of them Raw. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean,
just saying. I mean, you want to talk to Kenny Omega, the Kenny Omega thread? There's a lot that can happen there.
I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. When you, we could do a whole video on the Kenny Omega thread.
Oh,
but
easy.
I mean, just to wrap it up, I mean,
Plus,
the guys who don't know New Japan Wrestling, I mean, he is the Undertaker of the NJW.
Which is so funny because he's like super like California curly blonde hair.
Oh yeah. And the funny thing is when you hear a name like that, Kenny Omega, you expect to see someone like an Aleister Black.
Yeah. And he's just like this built freaking Jake the Snake Roberts dad bod guy.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But just before we cancel out, one more opinion. I think that oh, don't tell me I lost it. It was a good one too. I think that if Kenny Omega comes to the WWE before Cody Rhodes or Young Bucks, even if they don't come, there's also an outlying rivalry already set up between him and Xavier Woods.
It's true.
From video games.
It is true.
Just saying, they can play that up, down. Him and Kenny Omega went head to head. So just saying, Kenny Omega won. So
sure that.
But anyway, so that's just
dank
my
ops
last.
In there. Oh yeah.
Hey, you never know.
All right, guys. Well, You guys are still here at this end of this video. I greatly appreciate you. You're an amazing soul, an amazing person. But let us know what you guys think down below. I'm going to try to get this posted as soon as I possibly can. That way you guys have time to watch it before the main event and all the good shows happening. Because I do believe this starts at 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And it'll probably, honestly, it's probably going to go to 8 o'clock at least. And so, yeah, so thank you guys so much for tuning in. Appreciate it. Make sure you guys hit that like and that subscribe. It really means the world to me. We're trying to get to 25 subscribers, so please make sure you guys subscribe. But yeah, other than that, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in. And again, this has been the Keymaster 84 and
Bigro 206.
And until next time, guys, we play games to make gains, and the haters gonna hate.
Haters gonna hate.
See you guys next video.
Bye.